Don't this hit make my people wanna jump, jump. Don't this hit make my people wanna jump, jump. Don't this hit make my people wanna jump, jump. Don't this hit make my people wanna jump.
San Antonio Spurs secure championship number 5. 5 titles for Tim Duncan and his beloved coach Greg Popovich.
Up in the club like Dirk and Whiskey. See me on the court if you want to diss me. Let's play a game of 21. It's really fun. I got half-court shots and I post you up. I'm the drill speed well. I choke the...
Welcome to the finale of AIMEzing Words, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry it took so long, but you know, the way a lot of people predicted these NBA Finals to go, it would have been 7 games, which means in theory we still wouldn't be seeing it because tonight would have been Game 7. But congratulations to the San Antonio Spurs, their 5th championship. Tim Duncan. I think he's made some arguments that you can potentially say that Tim Duncan's had a better overall career than Kobe Bryant. I know a lot of people feel that's blasphemous, you know, but when you look at the numbers, you look at the fact that Spurs have only had one season where they didn't win at least 50 games in Tim Duncan's career, and that was the 1999 lockout season where there was only 50 games played. They won the championship that year and went 37-13. But we're not going to talk about that. We're not up for debates today. Today is simple. The San Antonio Spurs were the better team in the NBA Finals. And I want to point out, I was wrong that the Miami Heat would win 3 straight, but that the eventual NBA champion would win 3 straight games to close out the series, which would make me right about that. So anyways, it's simple. You know, I'm just going to break down the numbers for y'all who don't know, because it was clear for everyone to see that the Spurs were the better team in the finals. They outplayed Miami Heat.
In the night, I hear him talk, the coldest story ever told, somewhere far along this road.
From every aspect. The Spurs had 127 assists on 191 field goals. Miami had 76 assists on 168 field goals. The Miami Heat had 72 turnovers. The Spurs only had 67 turnovers. The Spurs made 55 three-pointers over the 5-game series, and Miami made only 46. Spurs shot 53% from the field. Miami shot 47% from the field. The Spurs had 5 players average double figures, and 6 players average at least 9 points. Of those 6 players, Tony Parker's the only one to not shoot at least 50% from the field, and he shot 48% from the field. From top to bottom, the Spurs just outplayed the Miami Heat. They won by an average of 14 points, which is like an NBA Finals record. They outscored the Miami Heat by 70 points in the series. Kawhi Leonard deservingly is the MVP. Outplayed LeBron James for the most part in the final 3 games of the series. Excuse me. He averaged 18 points and 6 rebounds. He had true field goal percentages and effective field goal percentages both over 70%. Timeout. What? Over 70%.
It's amazing. I'm the reason everybody fired up this evening.
Tony Parker averaged 18 and 5 for the series. Timmy Duncan, he's looking like our new version of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, because he's won a championship in 3 different decades. He won it in 1999, won it 3 times between 2000 and 2010, and now he's going to win one. He's won one in 2014, which I don't think anybody could say they expected the Spurs to be beating LeBron James in the NBA Finals 7 years ago when he led the Cleveland Cavaliers to the finals. Manu Ginobili, you know, Stephen A. Smith said Ginobili should retire. I think Stephen A. Smith was talking about the wrong shooting guard in this series, but we're going to get to that in a little bit. Manu averaged 14 and 4, played big, had the big dunk on Chris Bosh, had the backboard buzzer beater in Game 3 in Miami, and he just came off the bench in every single game with that killer instinct, making big shots. And shout out to Boris Diaw. You know, we shouted him out after Game 6 in OKC when he had 24. We know that he gained a couple pounds. We know that back when I was like 5'6" in middle school, he was like a point guard / shooting guard / small forward. Now he's like a big man. He averaged 9, 6, and 6, had the best plus and minus for the series, and Boris Diaw played well. I mean, Kawhi Leonard, you were the Finals MVP, and despite what Kevin Durant thinks, he's just a hater.
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you something, man. Hey, man, Kevin Durant, man, I'm trying to see you on that court ASAP, man. You say you're going to play me in the game, man. I ain't never seen you.
Greg Popovich to me was the real MVP. Greg Pop, you the real MVP. Because Popovich is his system works so well that it makes guys like Danny Green, who couldn't make an NBA team, couldn't even make the San Antonio Spurs team for a long time, look like superstars. I mean, to be frank, Danny Green ate Dwayne Wade's breakfast, his dinner, his lunch, and his midnight snack in this series. I'm not going to talk about LeBron or Bosh. I'm just going to talk about the fact that Dwayne Wade needs to retire. I said it after game 4. I'm going to say it again. In the 2 biggest games of the season, the 2 closeout games in this series, Dwayne Wade, 21 points on 7 of 25 from the field. We talking about D-Wade, man. I hear all this, oh man, LeBron teamed up with superstars. Well, D-Wade definitely ain't no superstar no more. Averaged 15 and 4 for the series. He had 18 turnovers and 13 assists. He shot 69% from the free throw line.
I used to be jealous of him and I follow. I used to be jealous of him and I follow.
33% from 3, which is acceptable. I'm not going to get angry about that. 43% from the field. For the season, this guy is a 19-5-5 player shooting 52% from the field. Shot 43% from the field in the finals. Why is this an issue? Dwayne Wade, you missed 28 games this regular season. So basically, a lot of the pressure was put on LeBron James. He didn't come to Miami to be the Miami Cavaliers. D-Wade, you missed 28 games. We all know the Eastern Conference is a joke. That means you only have to show up for 2 series. A maximum of 14 games. They need 20 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists out of you for 14 games. You are a max player. You are owed 40. If you opt in, you're owed $40 million over the next 2 years. If you show up for what? A game? First of all, LeBron left game 1 with the cramp.
The storm is on the horizon. I'm standing here alone.
You mean to tell me Dwayne Wade can't close out a game in San Antonio when LeBron putting him in position to win? When LeBron first left the game in the 4th quarter, the Heat were up 4. When he left the game for the rest of the game, about 4 minutes left, he made a basket to cut the lead to 2. Miami lost by 15. I'm just saying. CB, I truly believe that Chris Bosh needs to be the second option on that Miami Heat team. I think a lot of people get misconstrued. Chris Bosh is not Kevin Garnett. He's not a defensive anchor. That's not who he was in Toronto. He was a guy who got the ball on the block, got the ball in his mid-range game, and could give you 20 and 10 as a power forward. He averaged 14 and 5 in this series on 54.9% shooting. What that means to me is that he will be averaging 20 with about 49% shooting, which I rather would take because we still be playing right now and there be a game 7 tonight. Bosh has to be a bigger part of that offense. He shot 5 of 13 from 3, wasn't as effective from the 3-point line in this series due to the insertion of Boris Diaw. But CB has to get more touches. And Mario Chalmers, the king of Alaska, the man who hit the big 3 on Derrick Rose at Kansas. Norris Cole and Mario Chalmers combined for 38 points, 23 assists, 16 turnovers. Shot a combined 13 of 40 from the field and 2 of 14 from 3. Hey, bruh, I'm not saying I'm anywhere near the level of an NBA player, but I'm telling you right now, if LeBron James passes to me wide open in the corner, I'm making more than 2 out of 14 threes. That's all I'm saying. To make a long story short, which I've already made a little bit longer than it needs to be, the Spurs are the champs. Congratulations to San Antonio Spurs. They outplayed the Miami Heat in every aspect of the game as far as attacking the rim. You give it to Tim Duncan on the block. He's dominating whoever you put there. You can't guard him. Udonis has him. Birdman. No. Chris Anderson, where were you, bro? If your hip is hurt, say it, because they got a big boy named Greg Oden. Represent Buffalo. Represent for the low. He did not play any meaningful minutes. And I don't feel like he could have guarded. He might not have been able to defend the San Antonio Spurs as far as that half-court offense where they just dishing the ball. As I said, they had so many assists because they just swung it. They overswung the ball. But, I mean, Tim Duncan struggles against guys that are bigger, especially at his older age. So, Gio had the size to really maybe make Tim Duncan struggle. Then you could put Chris Bosh in a position where he's more in a scoring mentality. Pat Riley comes out. He calls out LeBron.
And you got to stay together if you got the guts. And you don't find the first door,
Pat,
run out of it.
Here's why LeBron James can legitimately leave the Miami Heat. Yes, 4 straight NBA Finals, only the 3rd team to do it. We understand history was made. 2 championships in 4 years, 2 championships in 3 years. It's not a bad thing. It's a great accomplishment. But LeBron James isn't in the NBA just to be like a Larry Bird or one of those greats. He wants to do something better than Jordan, and he can't do something better than Jordan with a 2-3 finals record. D-Wade's had durability issues since he won the championship in 2006. Let that sink in. That's almost 10 years ago, people. I just want to let you think about wherever you were at 10 years ago. That's when Dwayne Wade was actually good. Let's put that into perspective. Anyways, you didn't expect the Miami Heat to struggle and lose 2 finals. Granted, he lost to the best power forward of all time. I say Dirk is arguably the third best power forward of all time because he revolutionized this NBA game as a 7-footer who can shoot the 3 and space the floor and really is unguardable. He has probably the second most unblockable shot in league history to Kareem, who Tim Duncan is so reminiscent of in his dominance and his ability to play the game at such a high level for such a long stretch of time, and his ability to change his game and for the Spurs to bring in new guys. You bring in Tony Parker, you bring in Manu Ginobili. He won with David Robinson. You bring in now Kawhi Leonard and these younger guys, and you change the whole offense. And this guy's still good. This guy is still giving you a double-double and is really being the post presence on defense and offense that propelled the San Antonio Spurs. But the point that I'm trying to make is that, Dwayne Wade sucks. So Pat Riley saying, oh, these guys need to come back together. He sucks. Dwayne Wade is not a top 25 player in the league. I don't care what he did against Indiana. You have to show up for 2 series. 2 series. Do you know how many shooting guards in this NBA can give LeBron James 12 to 14 points, can shoot 40% from the 3-point line, and cannot get their food eaten by Danny Green, a player who was undrafted and could barely make an NBA roster? Do you know how many people can make that work? Because if you give LeBron a consistent 12 to 14, then he's going to know that he's going to have to get 30 to 32 on a nightly basis, and his game will change, and he won't have to be that passive player. But he ain't getting off the hook. Let's look at LeBron's numbers for the finals. 28 points, 8 rebounds, shot 57% from the field, 79% from the free throw line, and 52% from 3. Woo! Hey, Bron, you was balling, right? Wrong. Game 3. In your house. In your house. You mean to tell me, let me get on my preach. You mean to tell me in game 3, in the Threepeat, the king could not show up in game 3 in South Beach. 22 points, 7 turnovers. Kawhi Leonard had 29. Danny Green had 15. The Spurs routed the Miami. He had LeBron James really looking like I would look on that court. Let's just be frank about it. I'll be having a lot of turnovers against the Spurs too, but I'm not LeBron, am I? LeBron. Yeah, Dwayne Wade didn't show up. Chris Bosh didn't play as well. Coach Spo didn't make the right adjustments game to game. But the difference between a Michael Jordan and every other great player is Mike refused to accept defeat. People want to say Kobe's up there. He's not. Because I saw Kobe score 22 or 24 or 25, either way, in a blowout Game 6 loss in 2008, people. I want y'all to remember that. The one year that Kobe Bryant actually won the MVP, whether you want to debate the fact that Steve Nash won those other 2, that doesn't matter. The one year Kobe won the MVP was 2008. He lost to the Boston Celtics in Game 6. He also had a Game 4 lead at Staples Center in that finals, and he lost like a loser, going out pouting in Game 6, not to mention the time when he was up 3-1 against the Suns. But to make a long story short, Jordan, the GOAT, the man who's solidified, like his spot is untouchable on Mount Rushmore, because I'm going to continuously bring up the Mount Rushmore comments LeBron made early on in the season. Jordan doesn't go out like that, bro. Jordan averaged 41 in the series with Phoenix for his three-peat. So you shot 57% from the field. Go shoot 50% from the field and go average 38. Because then this team is still playing tonight, and you have a shot to make history. You have a shot to join that elite club. You have a shot to prove to all the haters that y'all can't hate on me because I am the king. Well, King James may be your Instagram, Twitter, your nickname on the back of the jersey. You're LeBron to me. What do Miami Heat need to do? Well, they definitely need to get better at point guard. They definitely need to get a big man. I'm really concerned about the fact that I think LeBron James needs his Charles Oakley, his Bill Laimbeer. I think he needs a big man that's really not going to let Lance Stevenson blow in his ear. Now, I've seen some footage of Udonis Haslem like, I will mess you up, Lance, and I'm just keeping that edited because that's not what he said. But, You know, UD at 6'8", not as intimidating as a 6'11", 7-foot big body boy saying, yo, touch my best player again, and I will see you outside the locker room afterwards. He needs that. Another thing that he needs down there in Miami, Damon Jones is a longtime buddy, played with him in 07 with the Cavs when he went to the finals. You know, always talking with LeBron. John Sally's another guy. It's time for Miami to add somebody to the staff that's going to really be close to LeBron James and really be like, yo, bro, right now you slacking. Because Spo not going to do it. Juwan Howard not going to do it. It's clear that D-Wade can't do it no more. In 2011, if D-Wade was averaging 23 in these finals and Miami was struggling and LeBron was being passive, then D-Wade would have the right to be like, yo, hey, Bron, step it up. Like Russ did to KD earlier in the playoffs this year against the Spurs. Wake up, Bron. You had to look at defeat from Game 4 and on. And that's unacceptable for the league's best player, the world's best basketball player. Win or lose this series, you knew you were the best. You can't go out looking like a loser. So, Pat Riley says LeBron needs to stay and try and make something special. Well, Pat, LeBron could win one more ring in Miami, maybe get 3 in 5 years, which would be pretty cool, pretty good for his career. Then he could go to either Cleveland or New York and win 1 or 2 championships, and his legacy will really go boom. He wants to become the first billionaire athlete. There are reports that he made, all I know is he made at least $30 million off the beats. At least $30 million. But I've heard he made up to $300 million off the beats. The man is not just about basketball. He's a businessman, learning from that guy Hove who mentors him. So, for LeBron, it's not simply about having something special in Miami. It's about winning some chips in Miami, maybe going back home and having a redemption story. But the problem with that is Dan Gilbert's letter. But if Cleveland somehow were to sign Mark Jackson, which it seems like they're not going to sign Mark Jackson the coach because they're hiring some guy from like the Euro League, which would probably cost them Kyrie, which once again is proved why LeBron made the right decision 4 years ago by leaving that organization.
And this fall, man, this is very tough. And this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Because there are a bunch of fools up in Cleveland. The possibility of going to New York maybe next summer should really stick in LeBron's mind, because if you go to New York next summer, you team up with Melo, you win him a ring, you work under Phil, you got Derek Fisher there coaching you, you'll be in New York City, you'll be in the limelight, you have the potential to make all the money you want to make because you could get a max contract. That's something he can't throw away. That's something he can't throw away. What do I think he's going to do this summer? I think he's going to opt in and possibly explore the possibilities of playing in a different city in the following season. With that being said, D-Wade sucks. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I've defended Dwayne Wade, his knees, having health issues for too long. You suck, bro. I can't stress the fact that this is supposed to be a superstar, and he shot 7 for 25 in the final 2 games of the NBA Finals. You know, when Bron played poorly in 2011, it wasn't that he was missing shots. It was that he was being passive. D-Wade, you were flat out missing shots. You were getting the ball. What do the Miami Heat need to add to the big three? And there are reports that Chris Bosh Chris Bosh has been very vocal about the fact that he wants to stay. But there's also been reports that they wouldn't mind if Chris Bosh opted out and left, and he could go get a max deal, whether it be in Houston, teaming up with Dwight and James Harden would be perfect for CB. And if they can explore some type of deal where you get, CB goes to Houston in a sign and trade, and you get Chandler Parsons or Terrence Jones or Omer Asik with a Patrick Beverly. If they could get 3 or 4 of those, or 2 or 3 of those guys in exchange for Bosh, that will help Miami out so much, because I think the point guard position needs to be improved. There's some free agents on the market that might end up in South Beach. Spencer Hawes, Emeka Okafor, Epe Udoh, Steve Blake. You know, if they could get a Kyle Lowry, a Marcin Gortat, Al Harrington, Sean Livingston, Sean Marion. If they could bring in Jody Meeks, I think that instantly makes them a little bit. Marvin Williams would be a great pickup for them. Devin Harris. Or if they can even get Ben Gordon and Caron Butler. You know, if Zach Randolph were to opt out of his deal, if I'm Miami, I'm trying to recruit Zach Randolph, because that's buckets in the paint. That's buckets. That's mismatch. It may not help you out as much on the perimeter, and you still have to explore bringing a young youth, but they said James Ennis and Justin Hamilton are guys that they're really interested in keeping around their team. What are my predictions? I'm predicting that Chandler Parsons might be coming back to his home state. I don't know what it is, but I would love to see a Chandler Parsons and Ben Gordon come to Miami along with, you know, a Emeka Okafor. I think those three players could really change the Miami Heat's chances of getting back to the finals and winning next year exponentially. And as AIMEzing Words comes to a close, you know, I said this on Twitter, I said this on Facebook, I said it on Instagram, and I'm going to say it again. It sucks that LeBron lost this year. That's why it took so long for me to release this video. But he's going to win ring number 3 next year. Whether it be in Miami, I don't know. But ring 3 is coming next year. And so will his 5th MVP award. I think everybody just needs to stay tuned. I think we saw probably the best San Antonio Spurs team we'll ever see. For everybody who's been watching, this is a longer episode. And I really appreciate everyone who's watching. And I'm just trying to do something special and express my thoughts and show my skills. Appreciate all the love, all the viewers, all the subscribers. Love you all. These are just a few AIMEzing words. Wow.